ladies and gentlemen, and one of the most creative scorers in the W. Starting to go on a rampage here. They've cut it to 5.
And with the first overall selection in the 2023 NHL Draft, the Chicago Blackhawks are very proud to select from the Regina Pats, the Western Hockey League, Connor Bedard.
What is going on, everybody? This is Mike Hughes, and you're listening to Mike on the Mic and everything Chicago sports related podcast. We got a lot of news. We got some breaking news coming in. I'm trying not to yell because I got people upstairs, and I'm not trying to hear all that. But man, I haven't been this excited about Cubs news since the signing of Cody Bellinger last winter. The Chicago Cubs have went out and gotten Craig Counsell from the Milwaukee Brewers as the new manager of the Chicago Cubs, a 5-year, $90 million deal. For everybody just tuning in, Craig Counsell is the manager of the Chicago Cubs, a 5-year, $90 million deal. David Ross's departure obviously comes with that 4 years of being a manager of this team. It was a nice trial and error. You know what I mean? And it just is what it was. We didn't expect anything major from a guy like David Ross with no managerial experience. It wasn't bad. It just wasn't good. And I think that's really where I'm at with that. So first and foremost, thank you to David Ross for even having the balls to come back and take on that role following the Joe Madden era, winning a championship era, going to 3 NLCSs in a row. It's hard to combat with that, especially when you have zero experience and all you've done since you've retired is go on Dancing with the Stars. But that's neither here nor there. But the decisions were obviously flawed. David Ross obviously wasn't perfect, and the situation wasn't perfect either for multiple years of it. You obviously had to trade the core. There was a lot that went into it. So I do want to give my props and give my love to a guy like David Ross. But with that being said, this is huge. This is huge. My brother Coop just messaged me and said, that's big and kind of unexpected. I didn't expect this. Nobody expected this. There's so many big things that I can talk about right now that has everything to do with this hire. It is absolutely crazy to me that we're even discussing it. The fact that not only did we swoop into the night in the managerial pool in free agency, but to get one of the top dogs, I mean, we're looking at a guy right now who has been an absolute monster for the Milwaukee Brewers organization. 707 career managerial wins, 625 losses. That's a .531 above average, above 500 record. 92 wins last year and 70 losses with not the greatest health on the entire team. He's been absolutely phenomenal, bro. I mean, Craig Counsell is an amazing manager in baseball. He is one of the more respected managers that I think I've seen. But man, the fact that this happened just shows you what Jed Hoyer, what Carter Hawkins all believe in this organization. I said it all year long. We had people on different networks, different podcasts saying, I don't know ball because I don't think David Ross is a good manager. It's just the facts. Putting guys in situations that weren't the best for them, putting guys in ball games because of matchups, not based off of what they're actually been able to do from a production standpoint, definitely hurt this team. And overall, the lineups, the inconsistencies, guys not getting consistent at bats. With Craig Counsell on this team, I expect Christopher Morel to play over 130 to 40 games this season. David Ross had him at 110 just because he didn't feel like he was good enough to make this roster in the beginning of the year, making Christopher Morel start off in AAA Iowa and then barely played him from time to time. And he still has 26 plus home runs on the year. What are we talking about? You know what I mean? And I think that's something right now that we can look at and say, we're not going to have to deal with that. The best players that are available are going to play, and that's just it. That is just it. And Craig Counsell also understands what it's like to play the matchup game. He does it at a very great and high effective level. I love this for the team. I love this for the organization. I love this for the Cubs moving forward. Somebody said right here, this sets the tone in the comments. I thank you for that comment, because that's exactly what it is. You are setting the tone for what this team is going to be able to do. You are setting the tone for what we are promised and what we were said to have been a longevity of success rather than just a couple years of success. That was one of the problems with Theo Epstein. Theo Epstein in Boston, Theo Epstein in Chicago. He can get you the championship. Without a question, he can get you the championship. But can he sustain that success long period? That's the problem. And Jed Hoyer is doing exactly that. The farm system looks amazing. Free agents are coming in left and right. We just picked up Kyle Hendricks on his club option for $16.5 million on a one-year deal. Jan Gomes is back on a $6 million one-year deal for a club option. Obviously, Marcus Stroman declines his one-year, $21 million player option, and Cody Bellinger is entering free agency as well. We expected Cody. I didn't truly expect Marcus, but after Marcus's comments all season long about wanting to find a permanent home, it definitely does make sense. You know, he's trying to find somewhere where he can get a multi-year deal. It makes sense. I'm not upset about it, but especially the second half of the season, the injuries, the inconsistencies, it just wasn't great. But man, this is absolutely phenomenal. This is absolutely phenomenal. I'm here for it. I am here for it. Stroh did us a favor. A lot of people are sad about it. A lot of people are happy about it. It's very inconsistent. I'm reading the comments, by the way, right now, if you don't know what I'm saying. But yeah, man, I am blown away. I am blown away. Now, all I really need, a little bit of a bullpen arms to bring in, just a little, nothing crazy. Maybe bring back a Aroldis Chapman. Who knows? But in all seriousness, Cody Bellinger needs to be the focal point. We heard rumors today that likely the San Diego Padres are going to wait till the deadline to try to get the bang for their buck for a guy like Juan Soto, maybe even try to extend him before then. But it's going to be interesting to see what happens, man. I'm really excited about what it means moving forward. I'm really excited what it means for this organization. If you guys are new here, hit that follow button for all your Cubs content, all your Cubs news. There's a lot of bullpen guys available, though. There's a lot of bullpen guys available. Who are a couple guys you want to see get signed? Who are a couple guys you want to see get brought back? Obviously, last night we also got the news, 3 Gold Glovers. Not 1, not 2, but 3 of them things. And we got our first-time winner, Nico Hoerner. They told us it couldn't be done, baby. They told us it couldn't be done. They told us he was going to be number 2. That he was going to be the runner-up. And Nico Hoerner wins his first Gold Glove at second base, his first Gold Glove ever. Ian Happ gets his second in back-to-back years. Dansby Swanson gets his second in back-to-back years. And obviously, you know, being completely honest, there is a legitimate chance that the Cubs have over 5 Gold Glove caliber players next year. That's just being real. I mean, and when I say Gold Glove caliber, I mean that they have a potential shot at winning it every single year, not just one year. Nick Madrigal was in the running from a statistics standpoint, but I don't see him as a legitimate Gold Glove third baseman. At least when you look at the talent around him, you know, Matt Chapman, Nolan Arenado, he's not going to beat out those guys. But he was solid. But when you look at what Pete Crow Armstrong has the ability to do, Cody Bellinger, and then you obviously have Dansby Swanson, Nico Hoerner, and Ian Happ. I mean, we have one of the best defenses in all of baseball if we bring back a guy like Cody. I mean, that's just what it is. And you can put Cody at first. Now you have a Gold Glover at first. You have a Gold Glover in center and PCA. You have a best up-the-middle defense. Jan Gomes is a great defensive catcher. I mean, this is great, man. There is so much Craig Counsell can do with this, and it is just the beginning. Craig Counsell is going to be, in my opinion, the biggest signing of the Cubs this entire offseason. They can bring back Cody, and that's fine. But the reality is what he's going to be able to do not only for this team, but for this organization, I think is going to be absolutely astronomical on how successful it's going to be. He changes the culture. He changes the mindset. I mean, look at what he's been able to do with a roster on the Milwaukee Brewers that, no disrespect, because there were definitely years they were better rosters than the Cubs, but he's winning 90 games with a subpar roster, you know, compared to the Atlanta Braves or the Los Angeles Dodgers. So to be able to do that, knowing you're in Chicago now, the free agents we're going to be able to acquire, the guys we're going to be able to bring in, on top of the greatest fan base in the entire fucking world, I think the possibilities are endless, baby. I think the possibilities are endless, but we're going to get to it. We're going to start making more videos. We're going to start making more content. I have an article coming up on Chicago State of Mind Sports. Check that out on Substack. You can check out my newest Bulls article. My newest Cubs article is dropping later today. We're obviously going to be talking about the Cubs firing David Ross and obviously hiring Craig Counsell. Somebody in the comments said, when did the Cubs fire David Ross? I guess I haven't officially heard that they fired him, but it is an understanding that Craig Counsell is not coming here to just sit and be a bench coach. You know what I mean? Like, he is here to be the manager of the Chicago Cubs. I do think it's very unfortunate that you fired David Ross after hiring a new manager. I don't know. I don't really know how I feel about that. It seems a little bogus. It seems a little, I don't know, shiesty, I guess, for a lack of a better word, but it is what it is. But with that being said, man, amazing start to the day. Let's get it. Let's get after it. I'm hyped. You guys should be too. Craig Counsell, welcome to the Chicago Cubs. Jan Gomes, Kyle Hendricks, welcome back. Cody, we'll be back. And we're spinning the block for you, baby. We're coming to re-sign you, baby. Don't even worry about it. Until then, I'll check you guys out on the next one. This is Mike Hughes from Mike on the Mic. Make sure you hit that follow button on TikTok and on Instagram at theshy.kid for all your Cubs and baseball news. Until then,